Hello and welcome to Valuechain TV News Updates. I am Kabir Lawal with the news. And on the Valuechain TV News Update, we begin with health issues, where an appeal has been forwarded to the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, on the need to ensure the inclusion of a budget for family planning in the year 2025 appropriation budget. The appeal was made by Program Manager of Health Reform Foundation of Nigeria, HAFON, Dr. Opeyemi Adeosun, during a media roundtable discussion in Abuja.
We know that you're a father to many, and now that you're a father to us in the FCT, we are advocating that you should consider the lives of several women who cannot meet you one-on-one. A lot of women need assistance in the area of ensuring that family planning commodities are available and the consumables. Now, the federal government has tried its own best with support from other international organizations to make sure that the commodities are available. But when it comes to consumables, a lot of women still have to pay 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 in different primary healthcare primary healthcare facilities, which many of them cannot afford. So because of this, they go back home and they start getting pregnant, having pregnancy that they do not want. A lot of our adolescent and teenage girls are dying because of unwanted pregnancy. Unfortunately, we don't have record of most of them. But if you go to communities today and you call a few women, they can tell you stories of a few girls who have died in the last 1 month. This is unfortunate. These are leaders of tomorrow. These are mothers of tomorrow. Why should we lose them now? Because they are responding to nature. So the fact is that the FCT minister should please, at this point, ensure that this is pushed to the National Assembly, especially the FCT National Assembly, to make sure that there is budget line, appropriated budget in the 2025 budget that is on the way.
He further highlighted the implication of not having these allocation.
That's one of the challenges we have identified, that FCT is one of the few states, even though FCT is not a state, but it's considered a state now, that is yet to have a budget line for family planning. Specific dedicated budget line for family planning. And this is a major challenge because we have quite a number of women still dying because during pregnancy. FCT contributes immensely to the high fertility rate that we have in Nigeria as at now. If you check the national Nigeria NDHS. So the whole essence is that Air Fund, being supported by Rise Up, an organization in the US who is so much concerned about how gender equity and how women's life can become better in all areas, both health, education, and co. With this support, we are trying to ensure that the media is also involved. We know that the media has always been involved in so many activities when it comes to health, but we had this media roundtable today so that the media will get better knowledge and also be gingered and be triggered about some of the challenges we have within the FCT, for them to know that the issue is actually large. So that is why we are here. The government owes you nothing that it does not appropriate. Okay? Within the civil service system or the government system, if there's no budget line for anything and it's not appropriated, then the government can say that it doesn't owe you. But when there's a budget line for it, that means the government deem it important to have money allocated to it. So as long as there's no funding allocated for family planning in the FCT, that means, and they will claim that, there's money for it, but the money is lumped inside something else, inside other maternal, newborn and child death programs. So immunization can go there and get funding, okay? Because maybe there's more noise about immunization. Other programs like malaria, TB can go there and get something. But when it comes to family planning, and because of the some other challenges which are religious undertone, cultural undertone, we have a lot of setback in this area. People who should support this process, even some traditional leaders, some religious leaders, tend to sit back and keep quiet Okay, they will say, they are not saying yes or no, they just keep quiet. So we need to come all out. That's why we need the media to educate the masses the more. The media needs to educate both the state actors, the non-state actors, the communities, everybody, because you have a far reach when it comes to reaching the populace.
The communication head of Harvard, Mrs. Bukola Afeyemi, also shared her view on this development.
The role of media is we see media as a great stakeholder in this work that we are doing. So we want media to pass some information to people at the helm of affairs, policy makers, the health city minister, the mandate health secretary at the federal capital territory level. So we want people in rural areas, people in the city center to know that family planning is very important, and we want integration of family planning budgets in the budget for next year. We want our policymakers to prioritize family planning and also ensure that people that are in the rural area, they have access to some of these family planning commodities.
Global oil prices tracked by Brent futures have fallen to $71 per barrel, remaining below the $75 threshold after Saudi Arabia's oil giant Aramco cut prices for its Asian customers. Aramco's reduction for Asian buyers are deeper than expected, following OPEC's delay in controlling production, which is adding pressure to efforts to stabilize prices. For January, Aramco set the price of its key Arab light crude oil grade at a premium of 90 cents per barrel above the regional benchmark. The company has also reduced prices for markets in northwestern Europe and the Mediterranean, but has kept prices for North America unchanged. Despite these adjustments, Aramco remains a dominant force in the global oil market, ranking as the fourth largest company in the world by revenue, with an impressive $449 billion in year 2024. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has assured Nigerians that the Tinubu administration remains committed to upholding the principles of participatory democracy. The minister made this statement during the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations NIPR 2024 Annual Public AGM and National Discourse on Tax Reform organized by the NIPR's Kaduna State Chapter. He noted that President Ahmed Bola Tinubu is advancing an ambitious fiscal reform agenda designed to allocate more resources to Nigerian state and local governments, with the ultimate goal of empowering the Nigerian people. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has expressed optimism about Nigeria's ongoing transformation, particularly in security and economic reforms, despite the challenges facing the nation. This was disclosed at the graduation ceremony of the Executive Intelligence Management Course 17 at the National Institute for Security Studies, Abuja. President Bola Tinubu, represented by National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, emphasized the progress in the key sectors and reiterated that the government's commitment to sustainable development goals. Nigeria's manufacturing sector is grappling with inflation, high raw material costs, limited government support, and an influx of imported goods, leading to declining confidence among industry players. Our correspondent, Ese Ufoma, completes the report.
The latest Manufacturers CEO Confidence Index, MCCI, released by the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, MAN, reveals that operators' confidence in 5 sectorial groups fell below the 50-point benchmark in the third quarter of 2024, signaling industry distress. The affected groups include food, beverage and tobacco 47.5, textile, apparel and footwear 44, domestic, industrial plastic and rubber 48, motor vehicle and miscellaneous assembly 44, and wood products 48, reflecting the challenges confronting the sector. The report also identified Kaduna 48, Kano 45, Anambra and Enugu 42.2, Bauchi and Benue and Plateau 40 as zones that also failed to meet the 50-point benchmark in Q3 2024. It stated that despite the Central Bank of Nigeria's decision to hike interest rates 6 consecutive times in 2024 from 22.75% to 27.5% and also carried out forex reforms, inflation has continued to rise, while FX inflow has dropped by 60.7% over the last 1 year. While calling on the Apex Bank to apply brake on the interest rates hike, the association stressed the need for the CBN to review the impact of the policies it had so far rolled out to enable it effectively control the consequences of such policies and make adjustments. For Value Chain TV, Essie Ufoma reporting.
The Practical Nigerian Content PNC Forum 2024 has officially conducted with the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board (NCDMP), pledging to strengthen its engagement with local communities and industry stakeholders. This was disclosed by Executive Secretary of MCDMB, Engineer Felix Omotsala Olbe, during the forum's official closing ceremony in Yenagoa. He noted that their active participation had strengthened discussions as the board works toward implementing new strategies to advance Nigerian content, while highlighting several initiatives to support these efforts, including the Back-to-Back Creeks initiative, the revised Nigerian Content Community Contractors Financing Scheme, the Nigerian Content Academy, and the establishment of additional zonal offices. And with that, we wrap up the Valuechain TV News Update. I am Kabir Lawal. For more news, don't forget to join us on all our social media handles and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye for now.